Mm. So, retail marketing mix. This is the last chapter of your retail management. So, here we will be learning how the business is supposed to go on and what are the techniques and types, or how do we do the business in such a way where our profit will be maximized. So, until now, we have learned in the first chapter how to start a retail business, or how many types of retail businesses are there, and all that we have learned. And in the next chapter, we learnt about customer behavior, how the customer reacts to every product or every situation of the product that we have bought. And then we learned in the next chapter about what are the retail layouts, how to build up the retail store, how to start with the layout. We saw many types of layouts, retail layouts there. Then we saw trade area analysis, market area analysis. All these were part of your chapter 3. And then we finished the information technology in retailing. So that was also an important aspect into the retail management, because nowadays we use lot of online services and internet based services. So that was the impact of information technology in retailing. Apart from that, we also learned ethical issues and social issues in retailing. That is very important from the point of view of exam. It's been repeated every time. So that was your 4 chapters. Now we are to the last chapter, that is retail marketing mix. So let us understand what is retail marketing. So the concept of retail marketing is a philosophy. So why it's called philosophy? Because it is a ocean. You have so much to learn in retail marketing. So but for us, what is required at this point of time, we will be learning only so much. Okay, so it's founded on the belief that profitable retailing and satisfactory returns on investments can be achieved by identification, anticipating and satisfying customer needs and desires. So the major aim of doing this retail marketing, or selling out products to the end customers or consumers, is to get the profit. Okay, it is a profitable retailing, and it has to satisfy the return on investment. Let's take some example. Now suppose today we have invested 100 rupees into the business. So what we are supposed to do is, we invest 100 rupees, but we somehow make sure we sell the products worth 150 rupees. So that 50 rupees is the extra profit that I have earned. So that will be the return on my 100 rupees investment. So that should be satisfactory. In our example, it was only 100 rupees. So that 100 rupees can be 1,000, lakhs, crores, anything. Okay, so satisfactory return on investment. Then apart from that, what other major part we have to achieve is, we have to achieve the identification. Okay, for our store or for our business, there should be a particular identification. Apart from that, anticipation. We have to make sure customers has to wait to buy our products. Now if you happen to take an example of movies, okay, that's the best example for you to understand. So if you happen to take the example of movies, we wait for certain movies where your favorite actor or actress is acting, or they're doing their job. So we wait for them. Okay, there are certain, top movies where everybody waits, or there are certain top, not only in the regional language but also in the English language also. You can take any language for that matter. So we anticipate, we look forward to such movies or such entertainment. Now it's a summer season, we all are anticipating for mango. Okay, that's the favorite fruit in this particular time period. So we as a customers anticipate or look forward to certain needs and desires of ours, and satisfying customers needs. So what is the main goal of retail marketing? It is to satisfy the customer needs. They are supposed to make sure we customers are satisfied by our needs and desires. Needs are the basic things. Now every day, whatever you wear as clothes, that is a need. So if any of the clothes are torn and you don't have anything to wear, then your needs are not met. But there are certain desires are wants. Now seasonal desires, which I just gave an example, in the season of summer you want mangoes, okay, you desire ice creams because the temperature is hot outside. So that those are desires. So in retail marketing, we have to achieve identification for our product, and we have to make sure people wait for our product and they are satisfied when they receive our product. Then it's the attitude of mind that places the customer at the very center of retail activities. So customers attitude of buying the product is what makes us sell the product. If they don't buy, then there is no point in selling the products for us. So for us, everything is customers and their behavior. So that is what we have been learning throughout all the chapters of retail management, where we see how customer will react to the product, how he will respond to the service, or in what ways he will expect us to give the products and services. So it is his attitude that will connect everything to the customer or consumer in the center. So we keep customer or consumer in the center, and around customer or consumer we are going to have lot of factors which will be affecting him and which will also affect our business. So this is the first part of retail marketing. Did you all understand? Anybody has doubt in this? Did everyone understand this slide? Anybody has doubt here? Okay. Please understand, this is one of the important chapter, because in exams you will get more marks from this chapter, because more number of questions are asked for 6 marks as well as 14 marks. Okay, you can expect more questions here. Okay, let's continue. Importance of retail marketing. So we saw what is retail marketing. Now let us understand the importance. Why we should have this retail marketing. Retail marketing in short is nothing but you promote your product, you promote your business to the end customers or consumers. Then it helps in identifying current unfulfilled needs and wants. Now in this COVID-19 situation, we are not able to go out, we are not able to eat outside food, so we crave for the junk. Okay, we crave for the junk food so much, especially this generation kids, everybody craves for the junk food too much. So this retail marketing will identify that unfulfilled needs and wants. Okay, there are certain unfulfilled needs and wants. Now many of them are not able to get the essentials like maybe groceries. Many small places, they don't get milk, dairy products for everyday basis. So these are unfulfilled needs. Okay, these are few things which is not completed for them. So this retail marketing is gonna observe all that and they are going to complete that. So now what are the steps taken? You can see Domino's is giving out essentials like atta, that is your wheat flour, and other Ashirwad spices. They're also selling these essentials apart from their pizza and all the varieties. Okay, and you can Swiggy is been joining hands with lot of local stores to deliver the essentials to the nearby places. DMart has opened their home deliveries, which was not there in Bangalore because DMart only had home deliveries in Mumbai. Now they have opened to the nearest places. They don't deliver it to too far. They only open to the nearest places. So these are unfulfilled needs and wants which have been fulfilled by retail marketing. Then it helps in determining which target groups of retailers should serve. So they have to recognize whom they should target or whom they should serve or give the service. Now again, in the present situation, they always concentrate on the people with low income class, because people who have little money with them, they are able to somehow get the products for their day to day normal eating, groceries, or even for the wants, they're able to get the products. But if you see the lower income class, uh, especially someone like daily wage workers, they are not able to get any products. So these retail marketing people will take up uh, groups groups, and they are trying to help them. That is also happening in nowadays. But apart from the emergency situation, retail marketing always categorize certain people on their age or on their income level. Okay, they take some target groups. Let's take for example the the growth drinking powder or protein powder. Okay, you can see the protein powder. Now protein powders for kids, protein powder for kids is already present in your Horlicks, Boost, Bonvita. All these are already there. So such protein based powders will is easily developed because the target group is kids. Now the same thing, if you take the protein powders for old people is in their late 60s, 60 and above, if they are there, for such people they will give protein powder also, because as per age limit they require that. But if you take the youth, okay, for them there are very less options. So they will find out who are the target groups who are least observed, and for them they will make sure they'll be giving better attention. So that is the second point. Next, it ensures complete satisfaction and sustained customer loyalty. They will make sure that they're gonna give, or they're gonna concentrate on every customer, so that the customer will come back to their own shop over and again. Okay, over and again they want them to be back in the same store. Okay, so that is the satisfaction and customer loyalty. Customer loyalty is nothing but you always go back to the same store to buy the products every time. So that is called as customer loyalty. Next, it assists in delivering on acceptable standard of living. Now all the products are not manufactured keeping in mind the rich people. All the products are also not manufactured keeping in mind the low income people. So there are products for every income level. So whoever can afford which product, they can buy those products. Now let's take soap for example. So certain soap is which you use for your body. Okay, certain soaps are very less in price. Now here in this, what will happen, the quality might not matter many times. Okay, so you only see the price and buy. So if the soap is of very less value, people would easily buy. It is affordable to everybody, and they will be able to utilize that. If the same soap is of high value, if one soap is costing you 70 rupees, 80 rupees and all that, then it is difficult for people to buy such soap and use it for daily basis. So what they do, they will prefer the lower amount of soap. But on the contrary, if you see the rich people, they usually prefer buying high value prices. Okay, high value prices, because they have a notion in mind, or they have this assumption in mind, high value products are high in quality. Okay, so that is what is the major notion. So this assists the students. Kindly mute yourself. I see someone has unmuted themselves. Thank you. So let's continue. So here they will assist in the delivery on acceptable of the standard of living. It helps in achieving efficient coordination of consumer prediction, product development, package design, and influencing demand through appropriate communication. Now, every product, from the time they have designed the product, they are manufacturing the product, until they sell the product, okay, the whole procedure, they make sure they are connected to the consumer. So first they will do a survey on which product to be bought out into the market. Then they will develop the product, then they will design the outer packaging. Now if you see this Three Roses tea powder, now Three Roses tea powder, it has this natural care variety. Now natural care variety is being propaganded or is being marketed more at present situation, because it contains all those natural herbs, it contains all those ayurvedic herbs, which is supposed to increase the immunity of the person. Okay, so in that case they will see the market at that situation, and they are gonna do the marketing according to that. So that is what we are talking about. It will help us in achieve efficient coordination of consumer prediction, product development, package designing. If you see the packet also, it has the red packaging with on the packaging they will give what all herbs are used in that tea powder. So that will attract lot of people in buying the tea powder and influencing demand through appropriate communication. Now communication is the advertisement. On TV you can see the advertisement given. Now advertisements are done in such a way that it is understood by everybody, people who are literate, illiterate, everybody should be able to understand. So advertisements are done in such a way that the communication reaches, or the product reaches the people properly. Okay, so that was the importance of retail marketing. You can expect this for 6 marks question. You just have to explain a little more in your own words apart from these points. Hope everybody understood. Any doubts in this slide? Okay, so let's continue. Nobody has doubt in this slide. Okay. Now, objectives of retail marketing. So we saw the importance. Now let's just quickly see the objectives of retail marketing. It defines the retailer's long-term purposes. So on a long-term basis, what we want to do using the business, that is what we are supposed to say in the objectives of retail marketing. Then goals, the goals which the retailer must achieve to be successful. Targets, these are short term goals that are required to be achieved immediately. Let's take an example and understand this. Everybody knows. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me now? Yeah, I think there was some network issue in between. Okay, so let's understand the objectives of retail marketing. The basic objectives is to define the retailer's long-term purposes. Goals are such that the retailers must achieve it successfully, and targets are short-term goals which are supposed to be achieved immediately. Now let's take for example Oreo biscuits. There are many variety of Oreo biscuits with vanilla cream inside. You have chocolate cream inside. You have red velvet. Now Oreo has bought out a variety of dairy milk chocolate, also red velvet with Oreo and all that. Now this Oreo brand, whatever we see out as chocolates and biscuits, okay, these form for retailers, for only retailers to be sold, I think it forms a very very less percentage. The same Oreo, if you see it in the coffee shop. Coffee shops are not your normal Darshini shops, but if you happen to see Starbucks, Coffee Day, such cafe shops, if you see, they use Oreo for many other purposes or many dishes. Okay, they use Oreo for cakes. They have the milkshake, and they have coffee. There are many variety of products from Oreo which they have got. So Oreo is, so you can say that's one of the very profitable company today from the company perspective, and everybody loves the product also. Okay, so that is also there. Now the basic object of Oreo, what we can say is, it wants to satisfy all the age people. Now Oreo is not only liked by kids or school going people, even people in their teenage, in youth, or anybody who give, they love to eat Oreos. So these are one part of product which does not have a age restriction. Okay, so that is an advantage for Oreo. So they will, on a long term basis, they can do lot of profit. Then goals. Now the other goals of Oreo, maybe they want to get this product into every eatable, every sweet product. Okay, now they have this Oreo in chocolates also, especially only in Dairy Milk. Now they can have a new idea of having these Oreo chocolates in dark chocolates. Okay, they have not entered the dark chocolates, so they can have Oreos in dark chocolates also. So that might be the next goal of Oreo. Or they can come out with many Oreo ice creams. Oreo ice creams are there, but very less variety. So they can improve their variety of Oreo. So that might be the goals. Now targets. When it comes to targets, it's a short term goal. Now here what happens? Short term goals usually will be with sales. So they will think, okay, so this 3 months, okay, this 3 months we are supposed to sell more, as many number of Oreo biscuits as we can. Now why they will think like that? Now since everybody is at home, they want something to munch. Always they keep thinking of eating something because they don't have any work. So mind keeps craving for some food, and many of them have the habit of having sweet after breakfast, after lunch, after dinner. So they prefer, at those times they prefer biscuits, or cream biscuits. And when kids are home, to maintain them, you have to keep giving them some or the other thing to eat. So likewise, the company will think all these things, and their short term goal is to achieve the maximum profit by selling their products. So these are the major objectives of retail marketing, where a product has to be sold on long term basis, and they should also have future goals, like maybe expanding, they want to start a new branch, or they can have a short term goal where they will be able to achieve it for certain period of time. So these are the major objectives. Did you all understand this slide? Any doubt here? Okay, so let's continue. Now, after importance and objectives, the major part, okay, retail marketing mix. This is the major part of the chapter. So, what is retail marketing mix? You would have heard about marketing mix, 4 P's of marketing: product, price, place, promotion. You would have heard all this, right? So, here we are learning the same thing but in the retail perspective. Here in retail perspective, concept is same but the variety inside is different. So let's see what is that retail marketing mix. It's the term used to describe the various elements and methods required to formulate and execute retail marketing strategy. So we are going to follow certain methods and strategies, so our product becomes number one in the market and we are able to get more profit. So we also grow along with lot of other companies and along with the society. So that is why we have to follow certain methods and strategies to attract the customers. Now, a retail marketing mix has four parts, each directed towards target audience. Now, four parts is nothing but the four P's. Okay, these four P's are targeted towards audience. All that we do in the business is to satisfy the end customers or end consumers. So that is why we have this marketing mix. It is based on the type of consumers you serve and the market in which you operate. Finding the correct marketing mix is an important part of positioning your retail outlet to stand out for the competitors. Now, the major part here in this point is we have to make sure we are in the right place to sell the product. Now that the people are aware of little junk food, it is fine. But before, if you happen to see, if you open a KFC or McDonald's in the village side, people would not go. I still believe people now also would not prefer, especially in the village side, because they prefer eating fresh food. Okay, we people don't like frozen food too much. Even if you take these frozen foods, like even pizza also, okay, pizza is also a part of frozen food. So we don't prefer frozen foods. We like to have something fresh, okay, immediately cooked or immediately grown and then cooked. So we have to always make sure that the store is in the correct place for us to sell the product. If not, we will not get business and we will be at loss. But at the end of the day, we are always serving the end customers, and these customers, if they are interested with our offers only, they will come. If not, they will not come. Now you can see lot of big bazaars have closed down. Okay, DMart is taking over all the stores that is there. Why is that? Because they know where to open their retail store and how to sell the products. So positioning of your retail outlet or store is very, very important. Now, in this retail marketing mix, we have four P's, that is product, price, place, and promotion. Let us see what is this in short forms. Okay, first one is product. Product, it's a merchandise in the retailer's deal. It includes service, brand, etc. The product that is offered for sale depends upon the type of retail outlet and target audience that the retailer has. Here, the factors that affect the perception of quality, including packaging, design, service options, warranty, colors, material, all are considered. So, product is something which we see as a service or as a brand. Everything is included in this. Product means not only a solid product. Okay, everything has been included, including your services. But sale of such products is depending on the target audience. Now, if I open a store, let's say I have opened a dress store, but the store is particularly for kids only. So I have only kids products here. So which means my target audience are from the age of 0, that is newborn kids, to the age of, let's say, 6 years, or let's take until 10 years, that will be fine. Okay, until 10 years. So 0 to 10 years are my target audience. Now I only sell products of the size of kids who from 0 to 10. Apart from that, I don't sell anything else. So my retail outlet should have the products, all the products pertaining to that age. Apart from these things, what other things which will affect my business is how I present the store, how I give them the offers, how much discount I am giving, how much more collection of dresses I have, variety of colors that are kept in my store, and material. Usually when it is kids, then again they prefer very comfortable material. So all that has to be kept in mind, and product must be sold. So the first thing is, it is product. Out of 4 P's, the first P is product. Next, the second P is price, the major thing where customer will think 100 times before buying the product. So price is the amount where the customer is willing to pay in exchange of benefits of the goods and services. Here what happens, customer, once they see the product, they will be able to buy your product for the money. So you are giving the product, they are giving you the money. So that is the exchange what is happening. So exchange of benefit of goods and services. You get money and they get the product. Next P, the third P is place. Where have you put up your store? Okay, so the place where you have put up your store also matters, because if you're selling too much of products in a wrong place, then you will not be able to get any amount. Okay, so in near colleges, if you want to concentrate on the teenage group and the youth group, near colleges you have to open up a shop of gifts, a shop, a cafe, or a restaurant, or you can say a stationery store, or any eatable stores, Xerox shop, that's nothing but photocopy shop. Now all these are the right businesses to start near the colleges. Why? Because you have the potential consumers or customers who will directly come and buy the products from you. And since you get more customers, you can also reduce the amount and give them enough discounts. So that is the third P of marketing mix. And the last P of marketing mix is the promotion. Now promotion is one of the biggest factor that you can consider under marketing mix, because without promotion or without marketing, you will not be able to improve your business. You would get profit, but in a very very little amount. Okay, it does not add up, but you're supposed to earn exponentially, or you are supposed to earn more. So that is why promotion is important. So let's see what is promotion. It refers to offers and discount that a retailer gives along with the product or service in order to promote the product. Now what I'll say, I am selling a dress. Now for this dress, I will say it is costing you 2000 rupees. Okay, now the customer will start bargaining. They will say, no, 2000, I am only giving you 1000 rupees. So then I will also start bargaining and say, no, 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 1000 rupees, I will give it for 1900. From 2000 I've come down 100 rupees. Again the bargaining goes on. At the end I agree at 1500 rupees. So this bargaining we are all very much used to, where we do this bargaining. It goes on to a next level also. So communicating or giving offers to the people, or you can see few of them saying, okay, how much is this product? They say it is 2200, but you can buy it at 2000 rupees. So they give you offers immediately, or they offer you discounts immediately, so you are attracted to buy the products. So this promotion involves communication to target groups. So they make sure the actual people know about the product and they buy the product. Now let's take the present situation only. In this COVID-19 situation, you can see the products like hand sanitizers, hand wash, or any other sort of soap, mask, hand gloves, all these are being sold too much. Why? Because of the situation prevailing. So what they make sure is, they always buy such products and the business of such products increase. Apart from that, you can see in the television every day, there are so many advertisements which are coming up, where they talk about giving out a free mask, or giving out soap or hand sanitizers to people around. So such small small acts will always get profit to the business. Or if you happen to see Lifebuoy hand wash ad, if you have not seen, just check out it online also. So the first line that they say is, uh, kindly wash your hands using Lifebuoy or any other soap available. So they're not only promoting Lifebuoy, but a general statement which says use any soap available. So at the end of the day, what is important? Using soap and washing hands is important. But apart from that, they're also promoting their product, that is Lifebuoy hand wash or Lifebuoy soap. So that is a type of promotion. So they're going to persuade, or they're going to convince the customers to buy the products at any point of time, because these soap, shampoo and all are basic products required. Then for a retail outlet, use marketing emails, hand out flyers, or plan grand opening events. Promotional campaigns should be targeted to customer base. You would have heard a lot of promotional campaigns. uh, Celebrities has been invited to open jewelry store, and you can see gym opening done by male celebrities. So all these will attract lot of attention for that particular mall or that particular store. Now let's take for example Punit Rajkumar coming and opening up a gym. Now every other person in that area wants to go to that gym and exercise every day and night. Why? Because Punit Rajkumar was there to inaugurate the gym. So such things always will get more number of people to the store. Or we can also give out lot of flyers or handouts, like if now it is admission time for all the schools and colleges, though they are not able to do anything much, but still advertisements on the television, social media, everywhere it keeps going on. Or any exams, competitive exams, if you have registered, you keep getting mails or messages regarding that. Now why they want to give all this is information has to be sent to the people. People love information. That information can be in any form. It can come in a form of gossiping, chit chatting, or any rumor. Any form of information people love, but they don't think twice before they talk out. So always check for the authenticity of the information and then only speak out. So this promotion is nothing but marketing the product, making sure we sell the product and get maximum profit. So these are the major 4 P's of marketing mix. We are going to see every P, that is product, price, place, promotion, in detail. What are the ways, how it is done, everything will be considered in detail and we'll be learning. Okay, any doubt in this slide? Did you all understand? Nobody has doubt in this slide? Okay, so we'll stop here. Tomorrow's class we will continue with the other each of the marketing mix we will be learning in detail. That will continue the next class. Okay, thank you students.